Almost just broke my candle. Okay, I really hope you guys like this idea because I spent a pathetic amount of time adding every single emoji individually to this spin wheel. God, I need a hobby. Hey guys, welcome back to another one. We are coming directly off of our subscribers choose my read videos right into day one of random emojis choose my reads. And it's so funny because I actually had a couple people in my, I think it was my TBR video, put this idea in my comments as something they wanted to see me do, just like a random emoji challenge. And then last week, I'm randomly refreshing my YouTube page, just wanting to put on some of my favorite book girlies while I did some work. And Sarah Caroli, the fabulous, the queen, Sarah Caroli, did this video. And I'm like, you guys are ahead of the trend of Sarah Caroli. Like, oh my God, how amazing are you guys? Like, who comes up with these creative ideas? But nonetheless, whatever it was, you guys just impressed me so incredibly that you came up with an idea before Sarah Caroli did. That's out of control. So thank you so much. And I want to let you guys know and take this opportunity to let you guys know that I do read every single comment and I try to respond or like every single comment down below. And the reason being, I just, the level of creativity that you guys have is so far beyond mine, and you come up with the greatest ideas. So please, if there's anything that you want to see me do, if there's any idea that you have and you want to see it done or even attempted to be done, because like, we don't stay professional around here, but I give it hell. I give it my best shot. Please comment it down below. Even if you have some like obscurely vague idea, like we could work it out together either in my Instagram messages or in the comments below. And I'm sure that between the two of us, we could put our heads together and we could come up with one amazing, either reading challenge, spin wheel challenge, TBR challenge. We could come up with something really great. So please comment below, put your idea below, even if it's like the beginning workings of an idea, because my favorite things to do are trying to bring your ideas to life. And that is what this video is this week. A couple of you, I think it was on my April TBR video, commented that you wanted to see me choose my reads based on random emojis. So as I said in the little intro, I spent hours going through my emoji keyboard and individually putting them on one line and adding them to one of our favorite spin wheels. It took so long, but I think it turned out so amazing. And I'm just like tickled that I get to do this week. So basically, it's going to be simple. I took every emoji, I put it on a spin wheel. We're going to spin the spin wheel and we're going to see if we can find a book that fits that emoji prompt. And I really appreciated doing this setup, how many emojis there are, because I don't think I conceptualized it before I had to individually add them. And like, some of them are so wacky and like out there, and I absolutely don't have a book that perfectly fits some of them. Like some of them I don't even know what they are, so we might have to do some Googling in this video. But the point is, we're going to get a random emoji and we're going to try to even vaguely make it fit one of my books. We might have to get a little creative and think kind of outside the box on this one. Like, just to make sure my spin wheel worked, I did a couple of practice spins, which is why we're going to randomize before our official spin. But I did a couple of practice spins and some stuff came up and I was like, what would I even pick for this? Like, I don't even know what some of them are, but whatever. I digress. Let's go ahead and do our first random emoji spin. So let's go ahead and screen record and throw up our spin wheel so you can take a look at it. Honestly, there's so many emojis on here. There's really not much to see because, I mean, what do you even do with this? I'm like trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. There you go. Okay, what do you even do with this? Let me scoot over. There it is. Did you understand how many emojis there were? Because I certainly didn't. And we did like a cute purple theme. Not that you can really tell because it's just one blob of purple because there's so many. But these are every single emoji on a spin wheel. Pretty crazy. So, all right, Let's see what our first book is going to be. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, what is it? An orange diamond, or an orange shape. Okay, so basically I'm just taking this as a book, like an orange book. And as per our rules in our TBR videos, when I get like a book with an orange cover or a book with a pink cover, my rule is it has to be a book with at least 50% or 51% of the cover being orange. So that's how I'm going to interpret this emoji. And obviously these are the rest of the books that are on my TBR this month. So I'm going to try to prioritize these, but let's see what options, if we have any, on our TBR that fit this. If not, we might have to dig into my shelves. Okay, so let's take a look at what I have on my TBR. I guess we can move my coffee. We could probably do that. All right. So this, like I said, is the rest of my TBR. Let's adjust you just slightly. Okay. This is the rest of my TBR, and it has to have over 50% of the cover be orange. So obviously Naturals doesn't work. Legendborn doesn't work. Ooh. Okay, finally mine. I'm going to be, this is yellow. This is like pink. This little strip is orange, but I don't think that counts as 50%. Okay, so let's leave that here. As much as I would love it to be, not Daisy Hates, not A Fragile Enchantment, and My Magnolia Summer is not 50%. So those aren't going to work. So here's an interesting one. The Firekeeper's Daughter is 50% of this orange. So there's orange here, orange on the beak, orange in the faces. There's like these orange butterfly wings. I think this one counts more than this one does, right? Like there's more orange on the Firekeeper's Daughter than there is on Finally Mine. So I think I'm going to keep that as an option. And then obviously nothing on House of Beating Wings or More of Us to the West. So this is an option for our TBR so far, but I think we should go and look on our shelves and see if we can find something else. Okay, so begins the search on our shelves for an orange book. So let's see what I can find. Is this orange? Like, focus please. Is that orange? I don't think so. I think it's brown. Okay. Never mind. Is this orange? Or is this yellow? Your guess is as good as mine. What color is this? I think it's coming up on camera as much more yellow. All right, yellow. All right. Okay, exhaustive search on the shelves yielded 4 additional options outside of Firekeeper's Daughter, which this already has a little bit of a leg up because this is on my TBR. So technically I think this probably is the one that I should go for, but we rarely do what we should do, right? So here's the other books that I pulled. When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I'm going to be honest with you, I have read the cheat sheet by Sarah Adams and I didn't love it. I didn't absolutely love it. I just had a lot of problems with the characters. I wasn't in love with the characters of that book. But the positive side of Sarah Adams, and the reason why I'm kind of like considering this, was they're really, really short and they read really fast. So that's it. Am I in the mood for a romance? I think I am. So this could go on our short list. Then I grabbed Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is absolutely orange. It's bright orange. And this book is massive. It's like 600 pages, I think. Yeah, 599 pages. However, this book is told through mixed media. So if you could see, here's like an article. Here's like, this is one page. I mean, how cool is that? There's a page. Let's see if we can find, oh look, here's a transcript. So I have a weird feeling that this would read really quickly. However, this is a sci-fi, and I don't read a ton of sci-fi. So I'm a little bit intimidated by it, and I don't know that I'm in the mood for a sci-fi, but orange book. Then I grabbed This Woven Kingdom by Tahara Mafi. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm probably not going to go for this one. It isn't, I don't think it's technically 50% orange anyways. I know the top is yellow. Well, I guess, maybe. I think it's closer to like 40% orange. If we really looked at it, like you could see even on the back, the yellow comes down, so it's not like half and half. And I'm probably not going to pick this one because I've heard the writing is very lyrical and poetic and takes an intense amount of focus in this book. And I'm not feeling that right now because I did just come off of Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan, and that did have a pretty immersive world and lyrical writing. And I just don't know if I'm looking to jump into something a little bit similar in writing style. So probably not going to go for this. And also probably not going to go for the tome. The how many page tome? 800 page tome that is Priory of the Orange Tree. As much as I want to say that I've conquered this book, I don't know that today is the day I conquer. So basically our three options are going to be Firekeeper's Daughter, When in Rome, and Illuminae. What a mixed bag. Mixed bag. We have a sci-fi, a Q closed door YA romance, and a mystery thriller. I think it's a mystery thriller. Yeah. Okay. Let's do process of elimination. Of these three, I'm eliminating Illuminae. Not feeling a sci-fi. So I'm between Firekeeper's Daughter and When in Rome. Okay, I'm thinking of the other, like randomly thinking of emojis that are on the wheel. And I'm thinking of about 1,000 different emojis I could get where I could work this in if I wanted to read it. I mean, even the pie. So I think I'm going to be responsible and dive into Firekeeper's Daughter because I just think I should do it. It is orange and I'm in the mood for this story. So we're going to dive right into Firekeeper's Daughter. It is now a couple of days later, I think like 2 days later. We had a crazy sports weekend, so I did do some reading, but not a ton. I am currently on part 2 of Firekeeper's Daughter, which is page 123, Once again, for my visual learners, I've made it about that little sliver into the book, and I figured I'd pop in and give you guys some of my like initial thoughts. Overall, it is positive. I am enjoying it. It's written very well, and I'm super intrigued by the storyline. The storyline, which I'll give you a synopsis of so far, at least 120 pages in, is good. I am really liking it, and overall, if I had to rate it based on the first 120 pages, this would be like a 4-star. The writing is really beautiful, and the storyline has me super intrigued. So basically if you haven't read this book, the very basic points that I've gathered in the first 120 pages is that our main female character, Donis, is a Native American in the Ojibwe tribe. And if I'm mispronouncing it, I apologize. Ojibwe tribe. And basically on her tribal community, there's been a lot of deaths, but also a lot of upheaval, like fighting, erratic behavior, violence from members of her community being seemingly addicted to this new form of drug. And she is now basically being lumped into the FBI and tribal, tribal police investigation as to what happened because of some events that just took place. I don't want to give away too much because part of the fun is the mystery. It is written very well and the story has me sucked in. However, this book so far is suffering from a little bit of like white man bad syndrome, right? Like the evil white man syndrome. It's not my favorite thing, because I don't necessarily subscribe to the theory. But I will say that it's not offending me too much because, not offending me, I'm not offended. It's not irritating me. There you go. It's not irritating me too much because it is written in a way which is very clear that it's Donis's personal opinion. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. I don't mind. If that's your opinion, I love that for you. I love that. And it's written very much in a way that doesn't present it as necessarily fact. It's just Donis's opinion and culturally the way she was raised. I don't mind that. Good. Entitled to your opinion. Everyone should have one. So that's the reason why this wasn't, like, if it had been written as, like, obviously this is fact and if you believe differently, you're wrong. Okay. If it had been written that way, it would have been a DNF for me. But because this is written literally just Donis speaking for Donis and Donis speaking for the way she was raised, I don't mind that. I get it. And I actually like reading about different opinions and I like reading why Donis is the way she is and what has come together to cultivate Donis to give her these thoughts and opinions. It's fascinating and everyone lives a different life. And I love reading about what has happened and what conversations have been taking place and what has happened in her family's life and her ancestors' life that have formed this opinion, regardless of whether I agree with it or not. I find it really interesting and it's a learning experience to listen to other people talk. So I really am liking that. But if it is something that you don't necessarily like reading about, there is not a healthy amount, a smidge. There is a smidge of evil white man syndrome in this. So just letting you know, but overall, it's very well written and very good so far. And I'm literally chomping at the bit to sit back down and go down the rabbit hole of the mystery of this substance that's causing the problem and who's involved and how it got there and what the end result of it is going to be. So for the rest of the day today, I am solely focusing on Firekeeper's Daughter. I actually was supposed to have a little bit of work today and got canceled last minute. So I find myself with an open day, which to me means a reading day. So we are going to sit down and do some reading. Maybe I'll set up and do a little bit of time-lapse reading right now, but the lighting is kind of stinky. So maybe I'll try to find a spot with better lighting and do a little bit of B-roll reading and see how much progress we can make in Firekeeper's Daughter today.
I had a dream once, I kept it close.
One thing I forgot to mention about this book, and it just struck me while I was sitting here reading, is how tiny the writing is in this edition, which I just got from like Barnes and Noble. It's nothing special, but the writing is so tiny. So when I read, I run a timer while I'm reading to just like, I put my focus on my phone and I run a timer just to make sure I'm reading a certain amount per day, which is like a personal goal for myself. And usually I average about a page a minute, which is like 60 pages a minute. And in this book, it's going so much slower because there are so many words on this page. If I remember to, I'll try to like record something closer with my phone so you guys can see it, but there are so many words on every page and I'm just sitting here and it's like, it's going so slow. And I just feel like there's so much information to absorb on every page just because of the sheer content. And I don't know, I'm 127 pages in and there's 500 pages in this book. And I'm like, oh my gosh. There's so much information happening on every page, but yeah, just formatting wise, figured I would talk to you about how small this writing is. If you're in Barnes & Noble, pick it up and just take a look and compare it next to like what I would consider more like standard font size. It's tiny, but carrying on.
Or all the things you're supposed to like, but now I'm the cool kid, all weird. Not chasing superficial things, that's clear. Ooh, I've got cool friends, ditch trends. They always see through them. That's why I am rich. Though I got no money, no, I am rich.
Just did school drop off the next day, so I have a nice quiet house, and I read so much yesterday. So I started on it was chapter 11, page like 96. So I started on chapter 11, page 96, and I ended on chapter 39, page 349. So I read 150 something pages, 160 pages, I don't know. But I only have that little sliver left. So I think I have like 140 pages left. I'm definitely going to finish that today. Then I have to finish Happily Never After for our book club. So I want to work on that today. So 140 pages of this, like 100 and something pages left of Happily Never After. I think I could probably do that this morning before inevitably my phone blows up and somebody needs me, which is always what happens. So I think I'm going to sit down and try to bang out some pages right now, at least of this. Is there a possibility that we can spin the emoji wheel today? I think there is. I think we'll be picking another book today. So enough talking. No more talking. Coffee has been made and is over in my reading spot. It is time to read. Drink my coffee and read and focus. I just finished Firekeeper's Daughter, and I'm going to give this a 4-star. It was such a great story, and even though it was almost 500 pages, like oftentimes when books are a little bit like longer, I get to page like 350 and I'm kind of like, oh my god, it never ends. Like I kind of wish this was over. And that didn't happen for me for this. Like this was 500 pages and it kept me interested the entire way through, which is great. The storyline was awesome, definitely suspenseful, definitely a little bit of mystery going on. I think I just had trouble connecting to some of the characters, and sometimes stylistically I just felt like a lot was going on that I don't think was ever, like, some loose ends weren't tied up. I don't think I'm using my words today because I'm hungry. Separate story. But some loose ends in this book, I got to the end of the book and I was like, wait a minute, but like my battery died. But if you read this book, I mean, some of it I just got to the end and I was kind of like, wait, but like, what about the little people? I didn't understand. Like in this book, there's something called the little people, capital L, capital P. And I'm like, what? For me, that was never like explained. And then because it wasn't explained, I was like, well, then why did they even put it in the book? I just don't get it. And that happened a couple of times. There were a couple parts of this book that were just like not wrapped up well for me. Had some trouble connecting with the characters, like I said, but overall I would definitely recommend this, especially if you want to get into like Native American culture. There was a lot of great Native American lore and stories and lessons, and I actually found the Ojibwan language really interesting, and they used it a lot in this book, which was amazing. So I definitely recommend this. And because we just finished Firekeeper's Daughter, that means we get to spin to see what our next emoji prompt is going to be. I'm going to move out of the way. So, on the count of 3, like, what did we get for the Firekeeper's Daughter? Was an orange diamond, which I interpreted as an orange cover. So, actually, and you know what? I didn't randomize before the last one. So let's go ahead and hit the randomize button. There you go. Now it's randomized. And 1, 2, 3. There are so many options on this wheel. I legitimately have no idea what it's going to be. A tooth? A tooth. Interesting. We have to go and do some serious digging for this one. I will be back. Okay, we had to get a little creative on this one. I thought outside of the box a little bit because a tooth? What am I supposed to do with that? But we did come up with 4 different options, so let's talk about them. So I actually found a book quite literally called All the Stars and Teeth by Adeline Grace. All the Stars and Teeth. And it has skulls with teeth in it. So I think this could potentially fit the bill. I have no idea what it's about though. It says, as the princess of the island kingdom Visidia, Amora Montara has spent her entire life training to be a high animancer, the master of souls. The rest of the realm can choose their magic, but for Amora, it's never been a choice. To secure her place as heir to the throne, she must prove her mastery of the monarchy's dangerous soul magic. When her demonstration goes awry, Amora is forced to flee. She strikes a deal with Bastian, a mysterious pirate. He'll help her prove she's fit to rule if she'll help him reclaim his stolen magic. But sailing the kingdom holds more wonder and more peril than Amora anticipated. A destructive new magic is on the rise, and if Amora is to conquer it, she'll need to face legendary monsters, cross paths with vengeful mermaids, and deal with a stowaway she never expected, or risk the fate of Visidia and lose the crown forever. Okay. How many pages is this? 360 something? All right. Now the rest of them, I got a little like think outside the box on them, and it's all like kind of like cover choices. So the first book I grabbed was Undertaking of Heart and Mercy by Megan Bannon. This book I think is about, isn't it about zombies? Isn't it like a zombie love story? I have no idea, but it does have, and I'm going to actually post a picture from the Kindle so I can zoom in on it. It does have skulls where you can clearly see their teeth. So there are teeth on the cover, and I'm thinking like zombies, body parts, teeth. I don't know, but it is, I believe, about zombies. Next I grabbed Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Not only is this on my 24 on 24 list, but there are right front and center, not only human teeth in the skull, but there's a pair of snake fangs. So there are two different species of teeth on this cover. And it's on my 24 on 24 list. And I've really wanted to get into the series, but do I want to start another series? I don't know, 350 something pages. We could do that one. Or if we wanted to go a little bit more of like a lit fic direction, I grabbed Swamp Story by Dave Barry. This is short. How many pages is it? I don't even think it's 300 pages, 280 something pages. And it does have the alligator on the cover that clearly has top and bottom teeth. I'm working with a strange emoji prompt, guys. We had to get a little creative. And I think this is supposed to be just kind of like funny and wacky. I do think it's a mystery, though. I have no idea what it's about. Florida man Dave Barry returns with a caper full of oddballs and more twists and turns than a snake slithering away from a gator. Okay. All right, so as per usual, we have our 4 books. Let's do our process of elimination here. So right off the bat, even though I think it arguably fits the prompt the best, I'm going to eliminate all the stars and teeth. I'm just not feeling it right now. I really do want to read this book, but coming off of Firekeeper's Daughter, I'm just not feeling it. I don't know why. It's just not calling to me right now. Same with Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. I do actually really want to read this, but this is a lengthy book. This is really long, actually. How many pages is this? Over 400 pages, and I'm just not feeling it right now. So I'm down to 2 very different options. Kingdom of the Wicked or Swamp Story. I'm going to go with Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Why was that such a tough decision? But this will knock something off on my 24 on 24 list. It does have the teeth on the cover. And even though I was really hoping I wasn't going to be starting any more series, oh well, that is the nature of the reading beast. And I really, really want to read it. I've heard such conflicting stories on this, but I'm just intrigued. So we're going to start Kingdom of the Wicked for our tooth emoji prompt. That was an interesting one. I like this. This is forcing me to get creative. It has just been a filming in the upstairs kitchen feels right couple of days. I don't know why. Partially because I'm too lazy to move the camera. If you could see like the monstrosity that I have set up in front of me right now, My husband came home from work. He was probably like, what in the ever-loving hell? I just have this gigantic tripod set up directly in the middle of our kitchen table, but it makes the camera eye level and it works. It's just too cumbersome for my brain to process moving at this point, so I'm just not going to, and we're just gonna keep filming in the kitchen. Whatever, I digress. So, obviously, the next day, and yesterday, I made it about 70% of the way through Kingdom of the Wicked. Visual learners, here's for you. This is what I read, that's what I have left. So I think I only have like 100 pages left, which is crazy. I'm definitely gonna finish this today. I am eating this up. And I just want to let you know, 70% of the way through, this is not my favorite book of all time. It's not. It's very good. I'm obviously liking it, but it is just so easy to read. It's so easy to fly through. The setting, the worlds, the characters, the writing is not overcomplicated. It's easy. I find myself getting sucked into this story and nothing else is going on around me. Like, this is it. This is it. It's easy. I honestly probably, if I didn't have kids and responsibilities and things to do, I probably could have read this in one day. I think technically I still am in that 24-hour period. I think I am, but I'm not going to make it. That's like not the goal because I have to go to Target. I have to get lunchbox snacks for the kids, but I also want to pick up Emily Henry's new book, Funny Story. Yesterday was release day. I think yesterday was release day. So I want to go and grab that. I have some things I have to do today, but I think I'm going to sit down and make just a little bit more progress on this and wait probably about an hour before I take off to Target. So let's get a little bit of time-lapse reading in for you.
Beneath the starlit sky, our love's secret line, like leaves we soar so high. Beneath the moonlight, soft touch your hand in mine, gets me every time.
So I officially just finished Kingdom of the Wicked, and we are going to do our next spin. However, we have someone who wants to help us spin the wheel. So reveal yourself, assistant.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so are you just going to spin and get the random emoji, or are you going to spin, get the random emoji, and then help me choose which next book I'm going to read?
Let's see as we go.
Let's see. Okay, let me screen record, and you can sit. You want to sit on my lap?
I kind of don't get how this works.
Okay, I'll show you. You want to sit on my lap?
I'm
Are you good here? All right, we got to wait 3 seconds. Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
No! Oh, God!
How did you manage to do that?
Okay.
All right, let's try that again. 1, 2. What are you doing? Why are you pressing things? Chill out. 1, 2, 3. You're gonna get the most obscure emoji. I just know it. Down arrows. Arrows pointing down.
I got the most obscure emoji.
Do you want me to put together a couple of options and you can pick, or you want me to just pick?
I could pick.
Okay, let me put together a couple of options that fit that emoji, and then you can pick.
This is Chloe's book YouTubing. I'm the host, Chloe, and this is my assistant.
Okay.
Lindsay.
So, you spun and got the most obscure, difficult emoji. And just to remind people, what was it?
A down.
It was like a 2 arrows pointing down emoji. So just like a down emoji. Okay, I found 4 options that you could choose from, and I'm going to tell you what genre they are and basically what they're about, and then you could pick. Okay?
Yeah.
So the first book I picked off my shelves was The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. Pretty cool cover, right? So this is
Simon.
a mystery thriller, murder, book, and it says, Viv Delaney wants to move to New York City, and to help pay for it, she takes a job as the night clerk at the Sundown Motel in New York, but something isn't right at the motel. Something haunting and scary. And then in 2017, Carly Kirk has never been able to let go of the story of her aunt, who's Viv, who mysteriously disappeared from the sundown before she was born. Carly decides to move to Fell and visit the motel, where she quickly learns that nothing has changed since 1982, and she soon finds herself ensnared in the same mysteries that claimed her aunt.
Looks like the books that
So this
I'm
is the
interested.
Sundown Motel. You're interested in those kinds, like the mystery books?
I love murder mystery books.
Okay, and then the next three are all like, think falling down. Okay? So this is Don't Let Me Fall by Kelsey
Don't
Ray.
let me down.
Don't let me down, but don't let me fall. This is I believe this is a romance.
Nope, that's out.
No romance. Okay, this book you might like. So this is the undertaking. No. Well, no. This is the I was thinking like down, pointing down, under. The Undertaking of Heart and Mercy. This is, okay, I think this is a zombie book. True love might be the death of them. Oh, so it might have love in it.
Nope.
It's like but it's zombies.
Okay, let me read this.
Okay, you read that. Da 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 da. Is there Wheel of Fortune music? Well, we can just, or like the elevator music. Da. I think it's about zombies, right? No? Oh, then apparently I have no clue. I thought it was about zombies and it has like skeletons and...
No.
Okay. Is that a possibility or is that a no?
It's a romantic fantasy.
Okay, so that's a no?
No.
Okay, and the
man.
last book is Falling by T.J. Newman, like falling down. Falling. And T.J. Newman used to be a flight attendant and she writes airline emergency like thriller books. So it says, you just boarded a flight to New York. There are 143 other passengers on board. What you don't know is that 30 minutes before the flight, your pilot's family was kidnapped. For his family to live, everyone on your plane must die. The only way the family will survive is if the pilot follows his orders and crashes the plane. Enjoy the flight.
Let me read this.
I think those are just like people talking about what they thought about it when they read it. Like testimonials, I think.
No, it's saying like,
Okay, so is that a possibility?
yeah.
Okay, so you're between the Sundown Motel and Falling. So it looks like I'm reading a thriller no matter what. It's just what thriller is Coley gonna choose?
You know what? Choose a number.
Choose a number?
Yeah.
Between 1 and 20?
1 in 100.
1 and 100. 23.
Okay. So what's the 23rd page?
Oh my god. Here we go.
Okay. 23rd page.
Oh, it's Fall, New York, November 2017. Greenville Street was barely 3 blocks long, a street of low-rise apartments ending in a dead end covered by a warped chain-link fence. That's the first line on page 23.
Alright, now which one out of 100?
32.
32.
Yeah. So we're just reading the first line, I guess, on these
I
pages.
get to write the 24. Okay.
Okay.
30.
Okay, so the first line on 32.
Cabin C. We
C,
haven't gotten any good part yet because we never ask an interesting question. Like, for example, you could ask Sam what you do if the plane crashes.
What do you want me to crash the plane?
I won't. I'm not crashing the plane.
So which one sounds better?
So this one, the first sentence sounded better, but this one sounds more interesting.
Which one are you more in? Oh, okay. So Coley has
Have you
selected.
read that book?
I have not, but I read Drowning by her, and it was really good.
Didn't you read this book?
I've never read that. No, I've never read any. Coley has selected Falling by T.J. Newman for our arrows down emoji. So let's get into it. What do you think out of 5 stars? What do you think I'm going to end up rating this book? If 5
4.
stars is perfect, you think it's going to be a
4.
4-star? Okay, let's see.
Come a little closer. I wanna dance with you. Everything's moving slower. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Falling in love.
It is official. I just finished Falling by TJ Newman. And where do I start? All right, let's start with my rating, okay? This is somewhere between a 2 and a 2.5 star. I gave it a 2.5 star on Goodreads, but like, I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I don't even think it was that high. So like, maybe like a 2.25, a 2, somewhere in that arena. A plethora of issues. I will say, if we want to focus on the positives first, the writing's decent. It is very much what TJ Newman knows and what she's good at with the airline emergencies, and you can tell that she spent years and years and years in this field and that she legit knows what she's talking about. So like the technical aspects of the aircraft and the lingo that the pilot uses, even like when air traffic control was talking to the pilot, like it was believable, because obviously it is believable. She knows what she's talking about. But just like I say with most thrillers, this definitely did suffer from how I feel about the genre, in that it was just kind of stupid. I feel so bad. I feel so bad because like I see what she was trying to do here, but the motivation, I mean, so, okay, let me give you like a basic gist of what this was. And it's kind of TJ Newman's like raison d'etre, like it's kind of what she does. So the basic story of this book is that one of our main characters, her books are always told from like different perspectives around and inside the aircraft, but one of our main characters' names is Bill Hoffman, and he's a pilot for Coastal Airlines, and he picks up an extra flight. Instead of going to his son's baseball game, he decides to pick up this flight. And when he gets there, his co-pilot Ben is there, and they, shoot the breeze and they get up into the air. And you also get the perspectives of like the couple of the flight attendants and a couple of the people on the ground. So like Bill's wife and, an FBI agent as well, you get the POV from. And I do enjoy the way that it is written, and the POVs are really, really intriguing. But basically what happens is when Bill gets up in the air, he receives a communication that his family has been kidnapped, and if he does not crash the plane, his family will be killed. Here's my issue. What turns out being the reason for why this entire thing happens literally makes zero sense. It makes no sense. It has no logical reason. It has no rational reason. Like, it's just patently dumb. Like, it makes no sense at all. So the fact that the main conflict of the book is silly, it's just, it makes for a frustrating read. I don't even know how else to say it. It's just frustrating. You're reading, it's short, thank God. It's like 280 something pages, but you're reading and you're just being like, this is so stupid. Like, it makes no sense. The reason for why this whole entire conflict is happening is dumb. It basically happens for no reason. I mean, like, it basically is happening just to make a point. I don't know. There's no motivation. There's no logic. There's no benefit. There's basically nothing. And I am going... Okay, so I'm going to say something that is a mild spoiler. So if you do think you're ever interested in picking up this book, I'm going to go ahead and put a timestamp like right here at the bottom that tells you where to fast forward to so you don't hear this. Actually, it's probably more than minor. It's probably a pretty major spoiler. So I would highly suggest that you go ahead and just skip forward if you ever have these like deep and abiding need to pick up Falling by TJ Newman. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, the biggest issue I have with this book is that this blatantly makes an excuse for straight up terrorism. Like, it ends up that the motivation behind this is terrorism, like Middle Eastern terrorism. And it actually it references the situation with September 11th a lot. And she basically not only kind of sort of tries to justify terrorism, but then she takes it one step further and she actually like blatantly wants you to sympathize with the terrorists and to like empathize with them and like understand where they're coming from, right? Like it was so infuriating. And even 20 something years after September 11th, too soon, girl. Too soon. It's always going to be too soon. I just couldn't get down with it. It kind of infuriated me. And I'll just give you one small example. At the end of the book, in one of the last pages, Bill is sitting at his desk and he has like an item from one of the terrorists like displayed on his desk. And he's like, I wish he was still here. And he's having a dream about like sharing coffee with him. No. Just no. Just no. Like, just no. Sorry. I can't get down with justifying terrorism and then going one step further and being like, just understand where they're coming from. Like, walk in their shoes. Feel bad. Like, empathize with the terrorists that killed and kill a lot of people. I have no... Sorry. I'm done. Basically, the more and more I'm talking about this, maybe it's a 2-star. And I think that might even be being generous. But yeah, if that sounds like something that you're interested in reading, go for it. But this was a no thank you. This was a giant no thank you for me. So it is what it is. They can't all be winners. So here's our weekly stack, guys. These are the 3 books we ended up reading this week after our emojis randomly selected them. And this challenge was so fun. And I will admit... It definitely did not allow me to stay dedicated to sticking to my TBR. We veered off my TBR with 2 out of the 3 books I read, but it was so much fun, like getting a random emoji and then trying to fit it to the books on my shelves. I had a blast and my son had a blast. I'm not excited until he gets back from practice and I tell him that I didn't like the book he selected, but it's okay. Like I said, can't win them all. So let's just have a little brief recap about what we read this week and what ratings I gave them. So we started the week with Firekeeper's Daughter, and I gave this a 4-star. Then we moved right into Kingdom of the Wicked, and I gave this a 3.75 star. And then, like I just discussed, we moved into Falling by TJ Newman, and I gave this somewhere between a 2 and a 2.25 star. What did you think about this weekly challenge? Is this a keeper or is this a dump? Like, do you like this idea or should we get rid of it? I don't know. I found it really, really fun. I'm hoping you guys did too. So if you made it all the way here, comment the skull emoji for Kingdom of the Wicked. And then go and do all of the YouTube things that you are so good at doing, like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.